Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talks the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks real talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variants, dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. My entourage be on the job, my energy. Feel me tripping in 10 books. As they cook my game plan, let my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause after things we ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. And we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We trace the logo when there's space that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, looking at Knicks City drip. The city decks on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine on Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Yeah, salute everyone. What's good? What's poppin'? Knicks real talk. We in the building. Divine Shot Power, episode 7, Knicks Base Summer League, man. We gonna get into all that Knick talk, Summer League, talk about the official Divincenzo signing. We're gonna talk about some more Knick news, man, out there, man, because we still got some things to go that hopefully can happen with the New York Knicks before we get to the training camp and all that. So we still got some hope and everything out there if you're looking for a trade or whatever the case may be. But anyway, before we go any further, let me bring my brother in the building, man. Shot Powers, what's going on, my man?
Salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Salute to the chat. Frank Matos of South is in the house. JJ, what's good, my man? Appreciate y'all coming in with us, man, getting it popping. Like I said, man, it's probably not a busy day. Obviously, the Knicks didn't do what they need to do at Summer League. They lost to the Brooklyn Nets in Summer League, man, got pretty much blowed out. But, we're not here to worry about whether the game won or lost. We just want to see what cats developed, what cats got better, or what did you see from the first game in Summer League compared to this game. So, we got enough to get into, man. Like I said, Divincenzo signed up, officially for the New York Knicks, man, and our second unit, man. So, salute to Divincenzo, and that's official. Salute to Anna Power signers. Appreciate that, you know what I mean? But Shot Powers, like I said, Summer League, because we really didn't draft nobody. It wasn't so intriguing because it wasn't so big because we didn't really draft nobody to bring into the Summer League. So it don't make it seem like because we are a winning team, we really didn't have to really go get no talent out of the draft, which we didn't do except for undrafted players and things like that. And, but that guy, Jalen Martin, had a pretty good game today, man. The last couple of games started to find his rhythm in Summer League. I like Roby had a bounce back game. I like the center playing out there, man. He's got some good touch around the basket. Defense need to get a little bit more better on his feet. But these first couple of games, and they just trying to figure it all out. But from what you see today, man, what you think about the Summer League game, the first couple of games?
Well, we had some players that went out there and did some things. It had the Jeffries out there. We had the junior dude that was out there. Robley was out there and stuff. So they went out there, and like we were talking in the background, Divine, like you brung up about Robley. A lot of people don't know that Robley was hurt since last year, and this is like really his first probably time that's really playing this some real NBA style of basketball. This is not really NBA, but with some quote unquote higher echelon players and stuff like that. So it is what it is, you know what I mean? And we were sitting talking about how the guys played, and I like the way Roby played today, man. He can shoot a shot, man. You leave him open, he can knock a shot down, and he's a little aggressive, and he can play some. He played a little bit of defense. He got down there, tried to crash the boards a couple of times. You know what I mean? So being with a different style of team, because these guys is all gunning. They all chucking. They ain't trying to, they trying to make a name for themselves. You settle them down with IQ and Divincenzo or something like that, J Hart or something like that. He may look a little more intriguing on the basketball court. So let's see what will happen. But that's really the breakdown. And not killing kills or nothing like that. I didn't see everybody ripping him apart. He looks like the same player that I seen last year. For me, he does looks like the same player, the same drive, the same crossover, the same slumped over dribble. So it is what it is.
Yeah, salute to the chat. Reeby, what's good, man? Appreciate you coming in. Real talk. You know what it is, how we do. Salute to you, my man. Shop Powell, what's interesting to me was Jalen Martin really got a game that we was hoping. Well, I'm gonna tell you what is really interesting. It's not throwing shade on nobody. I'm just dealing with comparison. Jalen Martin's game, which you wanted to see out of Deuce Bryan, and I think we were talking about that in previous chats, where the cat's willing to go downhill to the hole. He's like, he got a lot of intangibles too, man. The cat hustle on defense. He shoot the 3-ball, but he go downhill when he can. And I see that's what I brought up that situation, with Deuce Bryan, because that's what Deuce Bryan was missing. I don't know whether it's because of the way that they play offense or where they play defense, but the way they play offense at Knicks. But I do think my man gets downhill when he can. He's aggressive, strong. He go hard. I like him and Roby because it seems like him and Roby, they go at the competition. They not just selling, man. Roby try to get down there and post up, spin on the baseline, whatever the case may be. And like I said, for him to be out for a extended period of time because of injury, just get to play some organized basketball, 5-on-5. Yesterday, he was a little rusty, but he got better today. But he got a decent outside shot. He got a good mid-range shot. I think once he just get into a rhythm, he'd be okay. So I liked his game day, and I love the center, his offense side of the game. Shot Powers out of Ukraine. The cat, he get down there. He use that 7-foot body when he get down there. And I like his game. It seemed like he got a nice form from out there at the 3-point line. Even though he didn't knock down the one he shot today, but his form looks good. Like he could look like he could stroke it from there. Once he get it going. So them were the most intriguing one. I like Brown as well. Brown got a little offense game to him. They got hustle. They are trying to compete to get somewhere. None of these guys are not going to see on the Knicks other than Keels with their lot. Like you said, a lot of these guys are not going to be on the Knicks roster. They're going to be in the G League. That's what they're fighting for, a chance to get into the Knicks organization. Not so much to get on a big team, but they try to get in the organization. It means starting at the bottom. I don't want to say the bottom, but the first stage, the first level, which is the G League. That's what they're trying to get to. So hopefully some of them guys make it there. And then I do like Roby, though. I do think he got a chance to keep developing, but I don't have a problem with the Knicks giving him 12 to 13 minutes like they gave Obi, because he was doing some things that, granted, he's not Obi Toppin because he's younger than Obi. Obi's been kind of in the Knicks organization for 3 years, so he got an NBA already understanding of the game. Roby does, even though he was OKC and San Antonio, he didn't play a lot. So just to see him just try to get there and bang like that, I like the body side. I love the tangibles about this young man. The young man is unselfish. He passed the ball. The cat got a good stroke. He hustles, and he. That's the thing that's good to me, that he hustles. Whether he get the block shot or not, he's making an attempt to alter the shot, or But I like him. So Jalen Martin going to be another good guy. I think that them guys really impressed me. Them 3 guys right there, man. So even though it wasn't much to grow on, but I like what I've seen from them guys.
Yeah, they got out there. In the beginning of the game, they looked good. They were more crisp. After a couple of the substitutions with the guys coming off the bench, especially in the third quarter, they started slacking a little bit. They couldn't get the ball in the basket, and it is what it is, man. This is still the summer league, man. The one thing about summer league, you got to remember, it's just summer league. So that's something that take into consideration, and just try to see. I can say one thing. Robley looked better than he did yesterday. The last game that they played, and he shot a little better. He was a little bit more in rhythm. He sets a solid screen. So once he can get someone that can really give him the ball when he really wants it, I think he'll be fine, man. And I like you said, Divine, we did have we were higher ranked in the Eastern Conference Finals. In the playoffs, and so we gave away our picks this year to really try to bring someone else into maybe the summer league. Maybe into the G League and stuff like that. But right now, I don't think the Knicks are thinking about young guys right now. We got a whole host of first round picks in 2024, 2025. And some of them will be traded to get to go for bigger fish. And we with the little bit of moves that we made this year, with letting go D Rose, trading off Obi Toppin, and bringing in Divincenzo, I think we will still have a great chance of really getting better on the basketball court. And one thing, Divincenzo is a pretty decent player, man. I was watching some of his shorts on YouTube and stuff like that, and it's all good highlights that they show and stuff like that. But overall, the guy, I said this even before I watched the shorts. You have to remember this guy played with Curry. This guy played with Poole. All of these guys that control the basketball, and he still averaged almost 10 points a game. When Curry went down, his average was I think 17 or to 21 points a game while Curry was down. So this guy can really play some basketball, and to come over here and have more of an option to shoot the basketball more freely, maybe with a little bit more time on the basketball court, with a different range of shooters on the court while he's on the court, I think this guy could come out here and really prosper, man. So that's my look on how the summer league went and the trades and some of the stuff what the Knicks did.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off Shot Power, moving into the just a quick next segment. Divincenzo definitely brings a lot of things that the Knicks didn't have on that team last year, man. And I think people probably underestimate. If you look at outside of Emmanuel Quickly on that second unit for the New York Knicks last year, the past season, I apologize for that. The past season, if you look at other than Quickly, there was not too many people that could really do what Divincenzo could do. You know what I mean? That's real talk. He can't. That guy is another version of Josh Hart in the sense of shot power, a swift army knife with a better jump shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Divincenzo he plays winning basketball. That's good. I think maybe that's what I'm trying to boil it all down to. Divincenzo plays winning basketball, man, and the cat has got a knack for winning. Won in high school, won in college, won in the NBA level. So that's what's impressive to me about the sign is that he might not be a superstar, but he's gonna give us something that Obi couldn't give us totally all around game. Like the cat averaged 1.5 steals a game. Not only Obi got, I didn't want to make the reference to Obi because he's gone. I mean Obi and other guys in that second unit like McBride, Obi, who else was there? Josh Hart. Them were I made the guys. So to put him in that second unit, it makes the second unit much better. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And once Nick, always a Nick. I like that chat because you know what it is. He's Alex Burks 2.0 with better defense. You know what I mean? That's what's impressive to me. He's that guy. You're right. He's like Alex Burks, but he got better defense. And I think that's a really good sign. I just to piggyback off of Frank Matos, the OG thing is definitely a possibility. I wouldn't put it back. The Knicks, a lot of people shop powers. They feel like the Knicks they failed because they didn't find a free agent. But first of all, we didn't have the money to sign a free agent. Everybody, so we can't really just be like the team didn't do blah blah blah. The Knicks wasn't in a cap situation to go sign a free agent unless it was sign and trade. But they had enough money they wheeled and dealed enough to get somebody like Divincenzo. But obviously, we still got the Evan Fournier contract out there. So they still could do sign and trade, whatever the case may be. I think the Knicks is good to go to me. I think they still can get any Christian Woods. If nobody don't sign that young man, you can give him a mid-level exception, whatever. You know what I mean? Because he ain't get signed by nobody. He a free agent. And if Dallas don't pick him back up, which I think they should, they need him. But he's out there. You still could got trade under that could work for the Knicks with the Evan Fournier contract. I think once all the smoke clears and the dust settles, they'll see. I mean, the dust settles and the smoke clears, but they'll see. And I think they're going to be there. They'll be there, man. But, like I said, right now, I'm comfortable with going in the watch my summer league over. I'm comfortable with the Knicks signing Divincenzo right now anyway. You know what I'm saying? They don't do nothing before the All-Star break or the trading deadline. But I'm comfortable with going with Roby in if he continue to play summer league as a backup to do somebody who's not demanding 20 minutes a game. He throwing ahead for his body, his little skill set. Even if that cat, like you said earlier before we came up, he can get you 6-7 points a game, maybe three rebounds and some good, good little offense help because you got your main guys who are going to be quickly, Divincenzo, Josh Hart, and Harkenstein. They're going to, so he'll feel right in with them guys, and it won't seem like he's taking them away from them. So I kind of like that if they don't do nothing now. I think I'm good with the way they're going into the training camp. Because I like what I seen from that guy today, man. Like I said, somebody who haven't played basketball since February because of an injury, and you see the shot get better today. I love his getting around, getting at the ball. He's always at the ball. He's trying to dive on floors. So he got the same type of intensity and the work effort and tenacity to me to make it on the Knicks, just backing up Julius Randle, give Julius Randle a breather. Because he banged hard down the middle, something Obi wasn't doing like at the power forward for the Knicks. If you put Obi, either Obi was out of three-point shot line, shot powers, or he was running up and down the transition, not taken away from him, but that's pretty much what he was getting for most of his time in New York, was the three-point shooting, running up and down the floor, fast break transition. But I like Roby in this sense. He does bang down in the middle. He'd put the ball on the floor and try to dip to the bucket. You know what I mean? See, not saying Obi don't got it. He just wasn't doing it enough. I think that. So I'm pretty comfortable with a guy who could bang like Julius Randle in the sense.
Mm-hmm. Back to the basket.
Back to the basket coming in for Julius Randle. So I think that makes sense. You know what I mean? Let's see, man, where it goes. But Divincenzo was a great signing. I think I like what Frank Montel said. IQ and Fournier. I love that. I think that. And I'm a big IQ dude, but I'm saying if you're gonna hear the reason why I shot out, I like that tweet. That tweet that Frank Montel put out there. One, you don't got to get that cat $80 to $100 million. The $18 million that Fournier 19 get, that's what Anunoby getting. So you basically, instead of extending IQ, you can extend Anunoby if he work out. You know what I mean? That's why I like that sense of where he put up there, because you can't make that Fournier money work, and you don't have to extend him IQ. But you can, and Anunoby contract is almost the same as Fournier's. You know what I mean? So either way it go, at the end of the deal, Knicks get a player that can help them just like Quickly can, but they also don't have to extend Quickly, and they can come out with no money if they didn't extend Anunoby. They still got that cap money. I like Frank Montel's chat. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I like Quickly, but I think that's a good move, Shop Powell. You could pull something like that off.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say this too, man. To the Knicks fans, we want the big trade. We want to trade. We want to make moves. We want to do things. We want to get other players, the OGs, the Levines, the PGs, the Dame Dollar, and all this stuff. And we wonder why we're not pulling the trigger. Well, it's not like we're not pulling the trigger. We have, if all these things that I've seen out there, the Knicks have touched out to Toronto. The Knicks have touched out to Chicago. The Knicks have touched out to Portland. The Knicks have touched base with numerous teams out here to try to get these guys. The one thing that I've noticed is especially OG, they looked at what Ujiri was asking was too much. They went for Chicago to see Levine. The team said not Levine himself, but that was some clutch thing thrown in the mix. PG-13. We reached out to try to get PG-13, a lucrative deal that they tried to throw out there, but the extension killed that deal. So maybe there may be some more talks later July into August, to try to renegotiate that, something on the lines. And they also touched out to Dame. So all these for everyone who think that the Knicks are not trying to make major moves or something like that, bringing this quote unquote superstar, star player, stuff like that, they have touched out. But Leon Roll is not like I done messed his name up. God, what was the point guard for Detroit that used to be with us? He was commentating today.
Isaiah Thomas.
Leon Roll is not Isaiah Thomas. He is not giving up 6 first-round picks, two rotational players, plus 4 swaps. We're not moving like that no more. So I appreciate what the stuff that I'm hearing, the stuff that I'm seeing from these Bondies and all these other guys that Leon has touched base with a couple of these teams out here to try to get some players in for Tom Thibodeau, the coach. But listen, Knicks fans, if you've been a Knicks fan for longer than 20 years, you should know this already. When a trade is going on, the Knicks got to give up everything. If all right, for instance, there was Mitchell Robinson, there was R.J. Barrett, there was questions about Quentin Grimes, 4 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell went for three players that didn't really play basketball and 3 first-round picks that were protected. See the difference? When you come to the Knicks, they want your blood type, they want your child's kidney, they want to know if your daughter got red hair, they want to know all these things about the Knicks. So let's just wait, let it marinate. This guy Leon Rose is going to get us a deal here. I want it to happen. I know a lot of us Knicks fans want it to happen, but Leon has not been sitting on his hands. He's been out here trying to touch base with teams, but teams just don't want to make the Knicks better. So just let's see what happens. Settle down. We still got until August. Last year, our biggest trade was in August anyway. So let's see what happens. We got some time.
Yeah, real talk. You know, it's not on that. It's a business. I mean, you know, you talk about somebody who got a lot of capital, and that's why the Knicks see a lot of people going after the Knicks. Shot Power. Just to piggyback off what Shot Power said, a lot of Knicks going after the Knicks because we got the capital. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of teams don't got what we got, so you know they want for the Knicks what a lot of teams don't have. Knicks got a lot of draft picks. They got some aspirants, so they're gonna try to fleece the mess out of it. Because first of all, it's business. I'm in the business like anybody else in the business. You try to get more for less. Period. That's just the way the world goes. You try to get more for less. You know what I mean? And we understand that. We try to make $1 out of 15 cents. And that's what these guys out there doing when it comes to the Knicks. They trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Nah, man, you give me 15 cents, but you want $1. And the Knicks can't go for that. You know, and that's why I respect what Shot Power said and the way Leon Rose and them is running a situation, because they not getting fleeced like that. It's not worth it. Hey, look what Cleveland gave up for Donovan Mitchell. We still beat them. So it ain't guaranteed just because you go get a player, they're gonna be better, make your team significantly better. No, it's like 15 players on the team. He can improve the team, but that's a prime example. We didn't give up all that, and we still beat Cleveland. That's why I think it's so important that I think that what they're doing is the right thing. They know they got to be patient with this thing, take your time, and I think they're doing the right thing. And I think they're going to strike when the iron's hot. The right player going to jump out there, and I don't care if it's at the trading deadline. If the Knicks doing what they're supposed to do, and the trading deadline come, and somebody just say, you know what, I got this here. I need to get him off. If I don't get him off, I guess what I'm trying to say is the Knicks is smart by waiting to the trade deadline, because now the other team won't be able to get as much as they can get for that guy because they're trying to move him. You know what I mean? So let the Knicks just maintain, do what they do. And then you know what? When that team at the trading deadline get desperate because they ain't in where they need to be in contention, and they got to get rid of this big old salary because they want to go the other way, now they got to take what they can get in a sense because they not in the driver's seat. And I like Leon Rose. Leon Rose is a savvy, clever business guy, man. I got to give him his flowers, man. He's like, listen, I'm going to wait till you cats get desperate, and then you're going to want to get the player off. That's when you can come at me and talk to me. So salute to Leon Rose for being savvy about this stuff, man, because at the end of the day, you just can't take anybody. We don't want anybody coming to the Knicks. We got to make sure this player come here who fit the culture. They got a chance to help us win. They got a chance to, make this team better than what they already are. So you just don't want to get a player just to get him. He got to have all the qualities that fit Tom Thibodeau style of basketball, the Knicks organization type of culture guy. It's just not about because he's talented. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it all boiled down to. So, but I think they're going to strike when the time is right. And I think they're going to wait till the trading deadline maybe and say, you know what? Now you cats are desperate. So let's see how it goes, Shot Power. I think the Knicks are good, man. I like the Divincenzo signing is enough to make us better than we were last year because the cat do a lot of little things that don't show up in the stat sheet. He got the pedigree of winning, and I think that's a good thing. If we can get, like Frank Monto said, man, if you can get IQ for Anunoby and 2 protect the first, I'd jump on that all day. I mean, if I was in Missouri, I'd jump on it too. You got a starting point caliber point guard, an IQ who can roll with a young Scotty Barnes. Now you building that team. You got rid of Van Vliet. You move Anunoby for what it looks like you going in a different direction. But at least you will have a good foundation with IQ and Scotty Barnes as two of your premier young players. And also I think the Knicks just got to be patient, like they're being patient and just wait to the number called. They get Paul George, fine. They get whoever they get, they're fine. But I like the fact they're not getting fleece shot power. They're taking their time, and when you take your time, you're doing it right. When you rush, you mess up. And that's the way it goes. Just be patient with it. And I think patience is virtue, and I think that's what they're doing, man. So I know we want these cats to go out there and jump on something real quick, but I like the way they're rolling with it. I think they'd be okay.
Yeah, the infamous words of Fat Joe. Today's price is not. How does it go? Today's price is not tomorrow's price. So however that saying go, I messed the joke up, but he is definitely like, oh, this is what we want to put out there. Oh, you don't want that? Okay, because when you come back to us and you can't get that trade, and now you think about, all right, let me go back to the Knicks and let's rediscuss this. No, that thing ain't on the books no more. Yesterday's deal is not today's deal. So let's see what happens, man. I got hopes. I think Leon is he had, a lot of people talk about the Obi trade too, about how we just let Obi go for 2 second-round picks, and then you hear me? Oh yeah, they're late picks too. They're like 28th and 29th second-round picks. Almost in the doldrums of second-round picks. But you know what they did? They traded Obi Toppin because Obi Toppin wanted to go to the Pacers, and they seen that they wanted him to blossom. Another reason why, if I'm not mistaken, Obi Toppin is CAA, run by Leon's son. If I'm not mistaken, he's under Leon's son. You know what I mean? So he wants him to go and get some money. So he sent them over there. Obi maybe after this year he may be getting a contract somewhere from 17 to 22 million. If Obi really pops off over there and goes out and gets 20 and 6, 20 and 7 with 4 assists, you know what I mean? He's gonna get that money. You know what I mean? He's gonna get that money over there. So the deal, like I said, the first time that I heard the deal, the Knicks took the loss on it because of who Obi was. They wanted Obi to be the starting power forward, and at the time, the year before, they drafted Obi. That's when we had Tasmanian Randall. That's when he was doing the 360 moves and kept doing 7 turnovers a game and doing the 360 Tasmanian devil turn, spinning in the hole and all that stuff. And then he came back. He refined his game. He got his head into his game, and then he became that guy that we talk about now as being that 24, 10, and 5 type of guy. You know what I mean? And that right there, that was the downfall right there. You know what I mean? If it was any year that we would have traded Julius Randle, would have probably been the best year to try to trade him or let Obi try to slide in a little bit. Even then, the next year when and just another thing that I talk about Knicks fans especially a lot of guys at my job is Julius Randle, the beginning of the second year after the All-Star game. Remember the beginning of the year, he was having a baby. You know what I mean? He really didn't come in all that great of his shape. He was a little sluggish in the beginning. The beginning of that year was the same time when he had his baby. So his mind was all messed up. He probably wasn't getting good night's sleep. He probably was the baby was probably up all night trying to get into a rhythm of going to bed at certain times and got to get up and change. You got to feed the baby 6 times a day, 7 times a day, and all that other stuff that you do when you have a newborn baby and stuff like that. So he wasn't really in rhythm, and then it got to him mentally, not just physically. It got to him mentally, and then what happened? This next year, he come back looking like what was the name? KJ used to call him Action Jackson figure or something like that. Mm-hmm. He came back ripped and all that other stuff, and he had another dominating year. You know what I mean? Less the hurt. And another thing about Julius Randle, a lot of I'm sorry I'm running on Divine, but I really got to get to that, man.
Go ahead.
the Knicks fans, I'm not going to say I'm 100% with Julius Randle, because at a time I wanted him to be gone too, and it wasn't because of the type of play that he. I mean, it wasn't about the type of style of basketball he played. It was the fit to the team. I didn't think him and RJ fit together. All right. With that being said, we talk about Julius Randle not playing good in the playoffs. He's only been in the playoffs 2 times, and both the times was with the Knicks. The first time he didn't have a team, and the second time he had a double broken ankle that he had to get surgery for at the end of the season. So what, I'm not advocating for Julius. I am sticking up for him a little bit. Let me say that, because this guy, and he still averaged 18 points in the playoffs. 18 points against Miami. He wasn't the best of what we used to see him scoring 24, 25 points a night, but he still averaged around 15 to 19 points a game. With a broke ankle that he twisted 2 times. So let that be known. So not sticking up for Julius Randle, but I am advocating for him a little bit. Let's just see what this team, because the biggest thing that we need to do right now is hope for RJ to pop off and Quentin Grimes to pop off. With those 2 guys, if we had them last year, I can't really say too much about RJ, but in that last game, if we'd have had RJ score that 22, 24 points they played in those last 5-6 games before that, we might have been in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
All right. Whew, sorry about that, Divine. I had to get over that.
Hey, man, sorry. That's why it's Knicks Real Talk, brother.
I had to get that off.
All the way. That's what we do. For me, for Julius Randle, man, listen. You can go back to name the last 2 players in the last 12 years that got the Knicks to the playoffs, 13, 14 years. Name the 2 players who got the Knicks to the playoffs in the last 14 years. That's all I got to say. That's Carmelo Anthony and Julius Randle. You understand what I'm saying? You can't sneeze at 25, 11, and 5, 25, 10, and 5. You can't sneeze at that. You can't sneeze at a man who took a salary cut to stay in New York to help our organization bring in somebody like Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle could have took $200 million that year. He took a salary cut. Just like Divincenzo took a salary cut. Jalen Brunson signed for cheap because these cats believe in what the Knicks is doing here. And Julius Randle is one of them dudes too. Listen, if Julius Randle was any team in the NBA, everybody was like, yo, that dude is nice. They'd be like, Julius Randle is that dude. If he was on any other team in the league, they would be like, that dude is that dude. But because he on the New York Knicks, and he came here and tried to be the guy when we didn't have the talent around him. Julius Randle took a team worth of RJ Barrett, a $5 million player, to the playoffs in 1 year. In 2021, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and then we brought in Derrick Rose. Julius Randle took that team to the playoffs. So I get all the stuff with Julius Randle. I ain't got no problem with Julius Randle because he demanded an all NBA. But like I said, if he was on any other team, it might be different. But you know what? I think this team that probably where they constructed gonna come back this year. I seen a video of Quentin Grimes today, how hard he getting out there in the gym today. He in Houston University. He putting in some work. So I want to see guys like him come back with a better year. Like I said, I think it's gonna be all right to me, man. The eye test don't lie. I think these guys got a good team down here. I think people are gonna underestimate what Divincenzo gonna do for the Knicks. I think they're really gonna underestimate what that cat can help this team with what he could do with basketball, because we didn't have that in that second unit until Josh Hart got here in the trade. Think about it. We didn't have guys like that until Josh Hart got to the New York Knicks last year. So 1 year Jalen Brunson, a half a year Josh Hart. With Julius Randle and RJ, I think the Knicks did pretty good with him and Mitchell Robinson, them shot powers. For Mitch to come back, do what he did, the Knicks did pretty good with this team, man. They was a good basketball team. Now, I just think Divincenzo going to take it to another level, because you could have a cat, prime example, we say how much, look at James Harden. I'm just using this as an example. He might be a superstar, but is he a winning player?
Facts.
Divincenzo ain't no superstar, but he's a winning player. Undoubtedly a winning player. High school, college. So yeah, you might have all these superstars.
NBA.
Yeah. They not winning players. I don't care if they're the Knicks or not. Don't bring me a name. Bring me a winner. And that's what Jalen Brunson is, a winner. Julius Randle tried to win. I mean, Kobe Bryant distilled a lot of good knowledge in that man's head, when he was with the Lakers. You see why Julius Randle is so professional. Yeah, that, like you said, that year, Shot Powell, he got a little off the rail because of what he's going through. And everybody mentally ain't always strong in certain situations in life. He's a human being like everybody else. And sometimes people just got that about him, and he got to learn how to channel the best way they can. But you can't deny his skill on the basketball court, though. So I think with bringing in Divincenzo and these guys, man, I think it's just all good to me. I like this team. I think Jalen Brunson, and from what I'm hearing, they talking about you haven't even seen the best of Jalen Brunson. I heard this. I'm like, good God. And like, you haven't seen the best of Jalen Brunson after the past year or the past season. I don't know what to tell you. So I like it. I think we're gonna go in there and make a move. I do like, we being patient with it. That's what I guess with the end-all be-all Shop House, that we patient with it. Leon Rose and them, they doing it the right way. A salute to them. Salute to Scott Perry and them guys. And even though he's not here with us no more, Worldwide West, he cats doing it the right way. I mean, you look at Summer League today. Tibbs out there, Worldwide West out there. Yesterday, Garrison Rojas was there. This year, you got Walt Perry there with a bunch of papers scouting shit. You know what I mean? So they doing their job, and I'm happy about that, man. Let's see if they can translate it into wins this year. Maybe find another guy to add to the mix. And when they find a guy to add to the mix, I think it's going to be okay. I think the team's going to be competitive. I know they're going to go out there and compete, and I do believe that. So let's see how it goes. But I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I just have the biggest thing that I'm hoping for this year, aside of seeing Divincenzo really get out there and play some real stellar basketball, is the turner from IQ. You see IQ already. He's already out there. He's shooting basketballs and swimming with the turtles and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You see the Quentin Grimes things out there already starting to do turnaround and shooting off the dribble and all this other stuff. RJ Barrett, I think he's going to be in FIBA for France, isn't he being in FIBA?
Canada.
Canada. I mean, when I say France, what am I thinking? What am I thinking for Canada? So you're gonna see some good basketball from these guys, man. And the hope, the real hope that all of us that deep down low under our Knicks hats and Scully caps and all that other stuff is the fact that we hope that Quentin Grimes can really parlay his game this year. We are hoping that RJ Barrett can parlay his game this year, because with those two guys in the starting unit, bringing in consecutive numbers, if RJ could step it up to 22 points this year on a good field goal percentage, you're talking 47 from the field, maybe 30, 35, 36 from three, 80 from the free throw line. That's a different RJ Barrett. You know what I mean? He slimmed down a little bit and playing some hard defense. That's a different RJ Barrett. If we can see Grimes with that stellar defense that we were used to seeing, and now he can get 8 to 10 shots off a game, that's going to be something crucial, man. If he could get if Grimes could score, if his average could be 14 points this year, that is going to be big for our team, man. And this team is going to be, especially that second unit, is going to be a run and gun team, man. So I'm just thinking, I'm just staying positive, you know what I mean? And it's still early in this trade season, you know what I mean? Like I said, the Knicks then touched base with about Harding, about PG 13, about OG, about Dame. Who knows what other names are out there that they already tried to talk to that hasn't been really put out there in the sphere for us to know. But knowing that they are looking to get someone in those caliber games, because all those guys are right in the same caliber, bigger wing type guys, all those guys that they talk about, we may hit on something. And if we don't hit on something, now we have to hope that we hit on RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes to pop this year. And that's the bottom line. And remember this too. Quentin Grimes, it was his last season, was his second year in the NBA, his first year of starting basketball as a New York Knicks. Let that sink in.
Yeah. You know, just to piggyback on something real quick, Chop Power. Then I like a lot of wise put the chat in. I want to put out there 'cause I think it's so important. He was like, "Listen, after last year, if our chemistry grows, we could have a biggest big three." Man, listen.
Yeah.
You know, and I equate that to peace because proper education always causes elevation. You know, my brother know what I'm talking about. You know, they just keep educating themselves, keep elevating their game, and keep just building on what they learned the past year, coming to the new year with an even harder focus. The Knicks, now, do you think the Knicks gonna come back in this year thinking like we ain't gonna get to the second round? You got to be out of your mind. That team gonna be like, we want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. We was right there. We were sniffing at the door. They're going to have a mentality that they're going to want to come back, say, we got to get out the second round. That's their mindset. And I think they're going to come back focused, locked in, because that's what you expect from that team. They got a bunch of good winners on that team, man. I think you got guys who want to win basketball games. You look at Deuce Bride. I heard him say the other day, like, you know what? You know, my job is to want to win games. Regardless of how much time he not getting, that man got so much character in him. He said, listen, my job as a nigga is to win games. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that from these guys. So I do think we got a good thing brewing there, and we taking steps to it, man. I think these cats gonna come back more hungry, more determined, more focused, knowing that we're gonna learn off what we did the past season, make our mistakes, correct our mistakes. I meant to say, correct our mistakes, make our adjustments to what we learned in the NBA the last season, apply it to this season, and try to be better about it. I think that's what the team's supposed to do on their level. Do you think Jalen Brunson say, listen? I helped Luka Doncic get to the Western Conference Finals. You don't think he got that in his mind coming into the season? I missed it by a game or two to get the Knicks to the Western Conference, the Eastern Conference Finals. That's his mindset. Julius Randle probably come out and man, I had that bad ankle injury in the playoffs at the end of the season. I want to come back and make sure when we get to that level, he gonna be more determined. Or they gonna be, listen, if I would have came up game 6, whatever shot power, it might be a different tune.
Thanks, all of them, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to come back like with a chip on their shoulder, per se. I think they come back with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be locked in, quickly going to be like, listen, I missed that six-man award. I know I should have got it. He's going to come back on and know he in a contract year. I think these cats come back ready to rock and roll, man. This team is pretty solid to me, Sharp Howell. I said it last year, and I said it again because the culture they built since Tom Thibodeau never got there. Tom Thibodeau got there. First year he got there, put the Knicks in the playoffs. First year, took them to the playoffs.
A whole bunch of Tito's.
Oh my goodness! So they established a culture of identity of winning. Tom Thibodeau questioned to win a ring before he lead this thing. You know what I mean? Shaw Power, that's his mission, and it's rightfully so. I get it. You know, the man been coaching for a long time. The only thing he don't got in his resume, he done won Coach of the Year twice. Took some teams with mediocre players to the playoffs. You know, and now he on the quest to get a ring. So you got to understand where the Knicks are at, where they believe in what this man gonna do. The Knicks could have been right there. Who's to say they didn't knock off somebody to get to the finals last year? You beat Miami, you get there against Boston the way they was kind of going, and we kind of played them pretty well the rest of that year for the Knicks anyway. So who's to say the Knicks couldn't beat Boston? You never know. So I think these cats believe in themselves. I think this organization like where they're going. They got the flexibility, they got the infrastructure, they got everything. This team will be back up in that piece, and I think they're gonna come out the gate even more better this year because Jalen Brunson know where RJ play at. He know where Randall play at. He know where Mitch play at. He know where he know where they play at, man. So I'm looking for some big things out of these cats, man. I just think we just got to stay focused and want to go out there and play hard for these cats. And I think they will. I think they will. I think they come out there and play Shop House. But I think Divincenzo was a good signer for us. For compared, he was a good signing for what we had to spend. Put it like that. For what we had to spend, which we didn't have much, but to be able to get a player of his caliber with the amount of money we had in free agency to spend because we made some thanks to Josh Hart opting in. You know what I mean? That's why the poor, ladies and gentlemen. You might think the two second round picks for Obi was a bad. No, it wasn't, because we didn't take back no salary to sign Divincenzo. Right. You know what I mean? That's why, somebody just the other day got sent away for two second round picks was just as good as Obi, or not better than him, for because they wasn't worried about bringing in a player who first round pick. They ain't worried. No, they needed to stretch salary so they can get Divincenzo in the building, so they can have a little bit more under the salary cap with the tax implications on it. Not under the salary cap, but under the tax level. So it's a lot of things played into Obi Toppin going for 2 second-round picks only. Not because nobody else was calling. Did anybody else call? Did anybody offer the Knicks a first-round pick or two? I don't know. But if they did, they respect the Knicks for saying, I'd rather give this man the opportunity to go play where he want to play at than take a first-round pick. That's respect for Obi Toppin. So I think the Knicks did a good thing over around this year, and I think that the second, before the season starts, either we move Evan Fournier or we go into the season with him and wait till the trading deadline. I think the Knicks will do something then.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me. I concur with you, Divine, man. The move for Obi wasn't a move to get anything back, unless we were making a deal with Indiana. Maybe if they was throwing it out there, and we could have put, hypothetically put Mitchell Robinson and Obi together to get Miles Turner. Maybe that could have been something that they could have probably looked at or something like that. But overall, Obi Toppin wanted to go to Indiana. Obi Toppin been wanting to go to Indiana since last year when there was trade implications about Obi for Duarte. So, and that was the team that he wanted to go for. And listen, man, the Knicks put him there because he wanted to put him there. And the Knicks take care of their players, man. As long as I've been seeing what they've been doing, how the Knicks been operating, bringing players in from them $5 million contracts, making them 30 million, and and signing contracts in 2 years and all this other stuff, and with the options and all that stuff, the Knicks have been taking care of their players. And once again, even though we got those two second-round picks, Obi Toppin wanted to go to Indiana. And he is CAA. He is Tom Thibodeau's son's agent. And I mean that Obi is his agent, if I'm not mistaken. So of course they want him to go somewhere where he could flourish, because they seen that he wasn't really going to make the moves and get the minutes. And that's all we talked about the minutes for Obi. Yeah, it could have been a possibility that Tom Thibodeau could have tried to play him at the 3. And I mean, Obi was just starting to get better playing at the 4. And I mean, let's not forget, Knicks fans, and I like Obi just as much as everybody else. But Obi Toppin, the reason why Obi Toppin, the first year when he was here, why he sat the bench so much, because you give him one of these, you do a little of this, and give him an upper, he way up in the air, and you flying by him. So he didn't have the skills at first as a defender. And what our team is based on is defense and playing a lot of half-court basketball. Obi Toppin is going to flourish over in Indiana. You want to know why? Because he has Halliburton, and they're going to push the pace. You know what I mean? They're going to really push the pace. That 7-second pace that you run up and down the court with, that's where he's going to flourish. And I'm happy. I'm going to even try to watch some of those games so I can see Obi Toppin play over there with a team that's going to push the pace, where Halliburton is going to look over players and give out as Obi is slashing, he's going to be throwing the ball up to him. If they can make a good connection, but the big thing is they have to make a connection first. All these teams that we talk about, especially in the Eastern Conference, the one thing that we have a head step on them is we didn't make any major moves. So these guys, like you were just talking about, Divine, are already together. They're already together. A lot of these teams are going to have to gel before they get together. So if Dame comes over to Miami, Porzingis going to have to get used to playing with Boston. Boston's going to have to get used to playing without Smart. The Toronto is going to have to get used to playing without Van Fleet. They're going to have to be worried about playing with Schroeder, and so on and so forth. So that's one thing that we do have a little heads up on the other players, that we didn't make 3 or 4 major trade moves to mess up the chemistry that we have. We still got the same chemistry. So I think we'll come out a little. We should jump out of the gate a little earlier than a lot of these teams before they really can gel. So that's what I'm hoping for. Like I said, the big thing we have to hope for, if this guy's not traded, if these 2 guys are not any one of these guys are not traded, RJ to step up, Grimes to step up, and definitely IQ to step up. You know what I mean? And all three of those guys that we mentioned have stepped up their game from when they first stepped on the court. So let's see if they could continue to make that upward motion and be more have more stability with what they do. You know what I mean? A little bit more cohesiveness with the basketball and the field goal percentage.
Yeah, you know what, Sharp, just to pick about something that you talked about real quick with Obi Toppin. I think a lot of Knicks fans should be proud of the Knicks.
Facts. They taking care of their players, man.
Right. You remember in that video when that leaked video about him and Tibbs arguing, and when Tibbs said something, moving to Chicago, and what did Leon Rose said? But that family. He said, but that family. So I respect the Knicks for taking care of Obi Toppin like that. The Indiana ain't no threat to the Knicks, but that family. You take care of your family. So Leon Rose said, I drafted this young man, and that we kind of did a disservice to him in a sense. So I'm gonna try to correct my wrong by looking out for him. That's respect to me. You want every NBA owner, every NBA president of basketball operation to feel that way about their players. You want them to feel that way about their players. You know what I mean? And because nowadays a player just can get shifted anywhere. You know what I mean? Even they don't got no say so when it comes to trade a certain player. Unless you're a superstar, they can get shipped anywhere. You could be sitting there next to, like Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart didn't know he was getting traded for to the So to me, an organization, listen, Obi, right now we did you wrong. Not say we did you wrong, but it didn't work out here. We drafted you here, but obviously we got a all NBA player in front of you he worthy of his minutes. Julius Randle's worthy of his minutes. The cat got selected to the NBA All NBA team and he's worthy of his minutes. Right. So it was just Obi Toppin got drafted to the wrong team at the wrong time. That's it. Wrong team at the wrong time. But one thing I'm happy about him going to Indiana, Dayton only 2 hours away from Indiana per se. So he got a lot of his Dayton fans who can come support him. A lot of probably people in Indiana probably liked him because he was at Dayton, because they right there in that circle when it comes to watching college basketball. So it was a win-win to me. Like I said, if we wasn't, and here's another thing, we forgetting the business side of the ball. Who you going to sign that kind of long-term extension to? I'm going to give you 3 players, ladies and gentlemen. You can't keep all 3 of them. So who do you think the Knicks were going to sign? Extend. Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, and Quentin Grimes. Them 3 players, 2 of them going to get signed. They can't sign all 3 of them. They just can't. Not with the way they was trying to do things. So somebody had to kind of be that guy out, you know what I mean? And you can't say Obi Toppin had a better season than Emmanuel Quickly. And Emmanuel Quickly was almost 6th man of the year, damn near. You know what I mean? His numbers was legit. He was a legit player all year long, too. And he plays both sides of the ball. Obi Toppin don't play both sides of the ball. You know what I mean? Quentin Grimes plays both sides of the basketball. Obi Toppin don't play both sides of the basketball. So the Knicks were like, they gotta make a decision on these 3 guys. Long as Tom Thibodeau here. You know what I mean? So they might say, listen, Emmanuel Quickly right now, you ask any team in the league, any team in the NBA, and I guarantee you this, who you want, Obi Toppin or Emmanuel Quickly? Ask any team in the NBA. Who you want right now, Obi Toppin or Emmanuel Quickly? I bet you they say Emmanuel Quickly. I'm just talking about from what they could do for their team. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Quickly had a better year because he had to play more. He had a chance to play more. Obi Toppin didn't get a chance to play more because he was behind Julius Randle. Shit happens. So they're going to say, my man Emmanuel Quickly because he had a better year. And they see he the type of guy they can use, a point guard, 2-way player, and opposed to Obi Toppin, who's just a power forward, and, not saying that he can't be nothing else. I think the Knicks did the right thing. I don't think it was nothing personal. I just think they knew that at where they was shot power, they had to move him. They had, and I'm glad they did. Now I'm hoping Obi go to Indiana and drop 30 a game, get his bag, and go on with his NBA career because it's a business. And if the Knicks falter without him, then you can say they made a bad move. But I don't think it was a bad move for me. I think it was all about money. Right now, they got a better interest in Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly than they got Obi Toppin. And unfortunately, Randle got a 4-year contract still left. He just got it put into a contract. So if they believe in Julius Randle for the next 4 years, it was only right that you sent Obi Toppin out there because he never was going to get his shine. So he wasn't going to get a shine with Randle there and RJ and Brunson. I don't know. I just think that that's all when it comes down to logistics. All I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it was nothing personal. I think it was more of a not only it's a business side. It was good for both sides, Shot Powers. I just think that's what it had to be. There was no other way. The Knicks right now might extend Emmanuel quickly, or they might extend in the Shiner trade, ship him off. I don't know, whatever they might do. But it looked like they think that he got more value right now than a lot of people. And I think I think Frank Montos put up there. We talked about Fournier and IQ for Anunoby. You see what I'm saying? Now, do you think Missouri would have gave up Obi and Fournier and them picks for Anunoby? He might be like, nah, because I got a guy who could play. I got a guy who's a power forward in that spot.
They got Siakam, right?
Siakam, they got Scotty Barnes.
Barnes too, yeah.
So they might have been like, I don't need a guy like Obi. I need a guy like IQ because we lost Van Vliet. So it's really a business thing, man. I think it just fit and everything. So salute to Obi Toppin, man. We love you, my brother. Once a Knick, always a Knick. I'm an Obi fan. I wish Obi would have stayed here, but I understand why he had to go. I understand why he had to go, and I'm an Obi guy. You know that. I mean, when people would ride an Obi Shot Powers real quick, when he would come out, he don't got no footwork. He don't only thing he do is dunk. I'm like, man, this cat got skills. He just didn't get to use them because the Knicks was in this type of situation. But I want the best for Obi Toppin, man. Go out there and get your money, man. Get your paper because you got talent. But it just didn't work in the system that we had in New York. So what can you say?
Yeah, I mean, as a Knicks fan, you got to think of it like this. The two sides. Would you have rather Obi stayed here and played less minutes this year than he played last year, than he played 2 years ago? He played 17 minutes 2 years ago. He played 15 minutes this last season coming in. Would you want Obi to be here to play 12 to 15 minutes again?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand about the trade and what we got back from the trade, but you also got to think of it like this too. Leon was the guy who drafted this guy with the intentions of putting Obi in as a starter with Tasmanian Randall. Before they would, I believe they were thinking about getting ready to trade Randall. They got Obi, and the same year that he got here as his rookie year, Julius Randle turned his game around. And after that, Julius Randle has ran with it 2 times out of the last 3 times that he's been. Been a Knick. He's been an All-Star, top 15 in the league. And if Julius Randle was playing on Chicago, he'd be the biggest name talked about right now. He'd be one of the bigger names. You don't hear that in New York Knicks because nobody want to hear about the Knicks being good. We were good last year. We were a good team last year. Even though Obi Toppin played only 15 minutes in a couple of games when in the playoffs when Randle went down, but we were a good team, man. And I'm not saying I'm happy about the trade. I would have loved Obi to be here too. But do I really want to see Obi playing less minutes than he played this year? First year he was in the league, he played 17 minutes, and that was a bad year for him, I think. It was a bad year. He was starting to get used. He was starting to get used to the NBA. He was up faking him. He jumped through the roof. Last year, the year before that, he was getting better. But this last year, he dropped down. His minutes has dropped down ever since. I think, if I'm not mistaken, his minutes were about 15 minutes this year. And for a guy that you want to be out there 25 to 30 minutes, could we have probably found a better trade package for him and stuff? Heck yeah, I think they could have. I think they could have put him in with a deal for anybody else that we're talking about right now. The PG-13, the OG, the Levine. We could have probably looked for any of those teams and stuff like that. But he said he wanted to go to Indiana. It wasn't like the Knicks traded him Indiana because that was the only team that would take him. Indiana said they wanted him. They've been wanting him for 2 years ago. And what the Knicks do, they take care of their players. All right, listen, Obi, if you think you want to stay here, you might not get as many minutes. You might get like the same amount of minutes this year, or would you like to be traded? Yeah, you know what, Leon? I love playing for the Knicks, man, but this is my last year on my last contract, and I want to get paid. And if you guys ain't going to pay me, I want to go somewhere where I can show what I could do and make my money. Could you send me over to Indiana? That trade that that y'all were talking maybe with this guy before. Maybe send me over to Indiana. You know what I mean? He said, and Leon probably said, you know what, Obi, let me see what I could do for you. Like, dang, Obi, they only want 2 second-round picks for 20 and 29, man. I really don't want to let you go, but since you've been a stand-up dude for us, and you ain't go out to the media and speak about what the team has done and how Tom Thibodeau has been doing all of this stuff and blah blah blah, all that hoopla that was out there. You kept it 100 with us. We're gonna eat this one for you. We're gonna send you the way you want to go. That's how I feel about it. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. I made my own scenario up. I think it was what I wanted, a first round pick for him because he was a first round pick, or 2 higher second round picks, of course. But what I think we got for Obi is what Leon would sacrifice for what Obi wanted. It wasn't about what we wanted for Obi. It was what Obi wanted, and we took it on the chin for what Obi wanted.
I left that chat up there for a reason. And that's what, hey, JJ, thank you, my man. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. We can't think that Obi Toppin walking in the Indiana, he's going to be the starting power forward.
That's a fact, too.
Not while you got my man Jackson down there who been playing defense, stellar, both sides of the ball. The cat can get in the rim. He rebound. He blocks shots. The cat can play out of Kentucky. He was there last year. And like my man JJ said, you got Jarvis Walker who just got there. Ain't no guarantee Obi go out there and start at the power forward spot. I'm just saying that. I think what the Knicks did, they did it for the goodness sake of both parties. That's what it boiled down to. And I think it got a lot to do with it more about numbers. And another thing, you got to remember, Obi was a frustrated young player. He got into it with RJ. He got into it with Rick Brunson twice. He got into it with Quickly because he was frustrated. I get it. So the Knicks said, listen, man, you don't need that guy who's frustrated because he's not getting his quality minutes and it's affecting his mindset in a certain way. He handled it like a true player at a certain time. Like Shaw Powell said, he didn't go to the media. He didn't call. He said he had a great time in New York. He just needed to get his minutes. And that's what it all boiled down to. So, like I said, Leon Rose drafted that dude. Like he said, he family. And I'm not worried about the Pacers. I mean, yeah, he went to the Pacers. That don't make the Pacers better than the Knicks. I ain't worried about no Pacers. Only team I'm worried about is the team who we think we got to be better than to beat us. We was in the 4th, 5th spot. They wasn't. So Obi Toppin ain't putting them in the 6th spot or whatever. I don't think so. Yeah, come on now. So I say all that to say that Obi Toppin is the man. I mean, he was a great Knick. Once Knick always did, the young man just got drafted at the wrong place at the wrong time. And there's no other way you can even twist that. Because of the type of coach that we had, his first and foremost attribute is playing defense. That's it. Tom Thibodeau is a defense-minded basketball coach. And, he liked two-way players on both sides of the ball. That's just the way he get down. So unfortunately, Obi Toppin, you could say about his offense, but he was terrible on defense. He was not a good defensive basketball player. He can get you 30, but he can give up 35. You know what I mean? That's just a dilemma he was in because of his defense side of the ball. He made an effort in last year to get a little better, but still is nowhere near where Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly defense is at. So he had to be that one out. I don't think there's nothing to get too mad about. Obi Toppin gonna go out there and get his money. He's gonna go out there. Hope he go out there and kill it because he got a right to. Because he's a Knick. He was drafted by the Knicks. Unfortunately, bad timing. But Shaw Powell, I do think that the trade Obi, it helped get us Divincenzo, like I said earlier. Not to have to bring back Obi Toppin $6 million. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to bring that money back because we got 2 second-round picks. The Knicks was wise to do that because they not into they into right now trying to maintain their salary cap structure. That's where the Knicks is at right now. They are trying to make sure that they don't take out no salary because they're trying to get rid of something. They did that, got rid of Obi, and they brought in Divincenzo. So you switched out Obi pretty much for Divincenzo. Now, who was the better player? Obi ain't Divincenzo. Not on the defense, not on the winning side of basketball, not on the intangibles, not on the hustle plays, not on the IQ level. So you switch Obi Toppin.
Percentage.
Yeah, you switched out Obi Toppin for Divincenzo. What's the big deal? You know what I mean? Somebody had to go. If somebody had to go, I guess it was Obi Toppin. So I don't think the Knicks got worse. To me, you got better bringing in Divincenzo than Obi Toppin. And I'm not hating on Obi Toppin. I'm talking about what Divincenzo could do with a basketball that Obi didn't get to do because he was behind Randall. So you brought in a player who's going to get more minutes than Obi Toppin and probably going to wind up the intangibles are going to take a precedence over because my man can score 20 points. I mean, so. But I still think the Knicks is in a good spot. I just think that we got to move on from that, man, and don't let the Obi Toppin thing wear you down, man. Because like he it's about the name on the front of the jersey. That's what it all boiled down to. It's the Knicks. It's not Obi Toppin, not Jalen Brunson. They part of that. But the name we got on here that says Knicks, as far as I know, it's not Obi Toppin real talk. It's Knicks real talk. It's not Obi Toppin blowing the tail or Obi Obi nothing but Knicks. No, nothing but Knicks. Not Obi's not Knicks. You know what I mean? So we gotta not take these players, man, and get too caught up in them because it's a business. They get moved and grooved all the time. They get willed and dealt all the time. And practically you ain't got dealt. You know what I mean? It's just part of the business. So I don't really know what to say about the Obi Toppin thing, man. But salute to Obi Toppin, man. He electrified the guard, man. Gave us a lot of stuff that we didn't have. It's just that he just was in the wrong place at the wrong time behind a good player like Julius Randle, who's a damn good player. And he just, it just happens, man. It happens. It's the NBA. It happens. People say Obi Toppin is the only talent that should have stayed on a team, but they had the movement shot powers. A lot of teams go through it. You know what I mean? I wanted this player to stay here, but fortunately, because of the way it works, I got to get rid of him. You see a lot of that happen now with the new CBA. You know what I mean? People who you don't really want to get rid of, you got to move them because, it's just the business side of the ball. But we'll see what it is, man. We good with the Knicks. Knicks gonna be good. I like where we at, Shot Powers. Hopefully we can get another player in here. But if we had to roll into the season right now, where we at? And maybe hopefully Isaiah Roby can develop, get a little more rhythm under his game, just to spare Julius Randle, get some rebounds, hit the occasional three ball. I like the way the young man bangs down in the paint. He got a good. He's striving to get a good inside game because he wasn't that big a couple of years ago, but he done bulked up big time. So, he might just steal some minutes to help the Knicks just give Julius Randle breathing room. But think about this here. Men quickly, Josh Hart and Divincenzo, you got three guys, Dan is shooting 40% from three. Even though Josh Hart shot 41 last year. Divincenzo shot 39. I think quickly it'd be better at it when he's shooting. So you got three guys in that lineup. And my man Isaiah Roby can knock it down from out there a little bit. So you still got you got main three guys going to be the bulk of your offense. Them three guards, and you got Isaiah Roby if he be that backup power forward, and Hartenstein cleaning everything else up. So I don't have a problem with the Knicks rolling right now because I think before they'd be gone by the trading deadline, if not before, I think they'd be going, and we'll see what we get for them.
Yeah, that's true, and you got to remember this too, Knicks fans. Even if Roby doesn't play, R.J. Barrett played a lot of power forward last year, so it's the end of the season too. Don't I wouldn't be surprised, man. Let me say this, man. We got 1 year of Ahart, you know what I mean, and he didn't really have as many players as he wanted to cut to the basket and stuff like that. This year, you see Ahart already in the summer league, gelling with people and looking like he wants to be a New York Knick. Just imagine Ahart at the top of the key, and you got now your shooters around him are cutting and slashing. You got Josh Hart cutting from the left. You got Isaiah. You got the big Ragu cutting from the right. You got R.J. Barrett cutting off of one of these other guys, cutting up to the top so he can pass the ball to you. I think I'm hoping that Ihart has a better year with guys that move the basketball a little better because Ihart has a good eye for the basketball and he likes to cut and he's good with the pick and pop. You run off the pick, you come off the pop, the guy drops down towards the hole, he drops the ball in front of the defender right into our player's hand and they lay the ball up. Let's see if he can get some more of those passes like that. He did with a lot of people last year, but now he's really going to have some players to do that with. And now the one thing that I can't say is better, but with Divincenzo out there this year with IQ that I think is going to make a even bigger splash than he did last year, and Josh Hart shooting nothing but three-pointers this whole offseason. That's all Josh Hart is doing is shooting three-pointers. We'll see a little bit in FIBA thing too. I bet you Josh Hart is going to be shooting a whole lot of three-point shots this year. And yes, we are smaller in stature. Yes, we are. because we lost a 6'9" guy and we filled him in with a guy that's 6'4". But best believe this guy, Divincenzo, is gritty and grimy, and he grabs rebounds. On average, he grabs about 4.6 rebounds a game. I think that's more than Obi Toppin did in every year that he played. You know what I mean? I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Vincenzo is 4.6 Yeah, I think he's about 4-something rebounds, more rebounds than Obi Toppin. You know what I mean? And now with Josh Hart, another great rebounding small guy. You know what I mean? These guys gets to the basket and know how to box out to get to the ball to grab the rebound. So, yeah, we are going to be a smaller team, but I think this team can leak out a little bit more, can push the pace, especially in that second unit. And watch how Tom Thibodeau, I hope that Tom Thibodeau switches up these lineups. This 5-man starting lineup may not be the same 5-man lineup to close the game. You know what I mean? You may not see this 5-man. You may not see Randall and Mitchell Robinson, RJ, Brunson, and Grimes in the game. They may start the game, but they may not end the game. And could you imagine seeing IQ, J. Hart, Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, and Randall, or Hardenstein and Randall, or Randall and RJ? You know, some mix-ups and matchups where you have defensive and perimeter 3-point shots, because that's where we really lacked last year. Overall, our team was, I think, maybe bare minimum average of 36 for the league. I think we were under, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. With one more shooter that's shooting a better percentage, Brunson, that only shot, I believe, 35% from 3-point shooting last year. In certain realms of the game, he shot a little better, shot some high games of 40 and stuff like that. But I think overall, he did not make the league average. Imagine Brunson coming in this year, 36 points. RJ Barrett, 36 points. Quentin Grimes, 36 points a game. And these guys coming off the bench also staying around 36, 37 points a game with IQ, with Divincenzo.
1 second. I think I don't want to go further. I want to get back to you. I think you're missing out. You said 36 points a game. I don't know. Do you mean?
No. I'm sorry. Percentage.
Okay, there you go.
Percent.
I don't want you to go on. People say,
not points. Percentage. Yeah. So we got to stay. If we stay around 30, we need this team to be, because if collectively, I don't think we even made the. I think shooting for the team, we didn't make 36% this year. So we get over 36% from the free, where we really lacked that. That's where we really lacked that, 3-point shooting. Now, I mean, we were great scoring, number 1 scoring team. In the top 10 in scoring, but that's because of our defensive rebounding and our offensive rebounding. But if we could get out and shoot the basketball a little bit better, well, we don't need as many offensive rebounds, we'll be a better team.
Yeah, shout out. Some interesting. This I know that we got all these wise people up in the chat. Y'all already know how it is. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Keep dropping them jewels up in there. Y'all really got it popping, man. They just a lot of wise people up in there. But here's another thing. Another thing to me that people are not taking into consideration. Let's say whoever comes in for Obi at the power forward spot better than Obi, even if they're a backup. So that means you had to get better because you brought in Divincenzo. You brought in a guy who might be better than Obi, right? Divincenzo is not a replacement for Obi Toppin, ladies and gentlemen. They've been wanting Divincenzo for a minute. We just had to use Obi Toppin to get him. You know what I mean? So the Knicks can still go out there and get you could bring a Carmelo Anthony. I'm just throwing this out there. Do you think Carmelo Anthony can't help the Knicks with the amount of minutes Julius Randle getting? He would make the team better just because he ain't got to play a lot. But he know he can do. I just use him as an example. They talking about a player that's in there now in the NBA, like I think you would say, like a Trey Lyles or anybody, or somebody who got NBA experience and can hold down a fort till Julius Randle get back and they productive. So if you find a person to replace Obi like that, then the Knicks had to get better because they brought in DiVincenzo and they brought in a power forward who can kind of help you, give you the production you needed at the power forward spot behind Julius Randle that we couldn't get for Obi Toppin because he just he couldn't get the minutes. So all you got to do is replace Obi Toppin with a guy who might be a little bit more better defense-minded, who's a better rebounder per se, in the limited minutes he's gonna get behind Julius Randle, then the Knicks is a better team because you went and got the player that's gonna help the Knicks in a backup power forward spot, and you bought a Divincenzo. So if that's the case, then you just roll with that until you get ready to make until you make a big move, whether or Anunoby at the trading deadline. If first of all, we keep saying Anunoby, like how we know my man really gonna give him away? You don't even know if the Toronto really gonna trade that guy. So I miss a lot of guys out there, but I like Jonathan Isaac. You know what I mean? Just he a player, but think about it: 6'11", Jonathan Isaac. Got talent. Granted, he's injury prone, but you're not worried about the injury part of it because everybody get injured. But he won't need to take a lot of minutes at the power forward spot because because his injury history, he's not going to want 25, 30 minutes. He'd be happy getting 15 minutes. Obi might not have been happy getting 15 minutes. You might bring in a guy who might be happy just getting 15 minutes who can produce for the Knicks. Then you don't have the drama surrounding the situation where this cat man because he's not getting a lot of minutes. And to me, it wasn't really drama, but that was the only knock on Obi Toppin. He couldn't get the minutes because Julius Randle was there. That's all it is. So, I think the Knicks got to fill that void. And for Isaiah Roby, I think, you can't look at a guy who's been out of basketball since March or February and think that the cat can't play. I liked a lot of things that young man did today, Shaw Powers.
I did too.
I liked a lot of stuff that he ain't no saver for the Knicks. The only saver for the Knicks is going to be Jalen Brunson and another superstar. Them going to be the saver for the Knicks. But what Isaiah Roby showed me today, he not scared to bang down in the paint. He'll back his play. He'll back you down in the post. He can shoot the 3 ball. He'll back you down when he can, but he's an excellent passer, unselfish. He tried to play defense the best he can. I see him diving on the floor, going after, try to get block shots. See, guys, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of things Obi Toppin wasn't doing. I'm not saying he better than Obi Toppin. What I'm saying is some of the things he showed me today. He showed me a lot of good intangibles the first couple of games. Forget about the point. Jalen Brunson only scored 6 points in Summer League. Now look at him. You can't, Summer League is nothing. You don't evaluate a player in 2 games or in Summer League. No, you evaluate him in practice. You evaluate him when throughout the course of the season, or you evaluate him when he's in the practice field. That's when you see if he plays good or not. But I like what he did today. I like his size. I like his IQ. He's an intelligent ball player. That's what I like about him, Shaw Powers. So he's the type of guy, he only need 10, 12, 13 minutes. Why not let him back up Randle? You know what I mean? The cat he cramming to get 30 minutes. He'll do what he need to do. He'll do the dirty work. He'll get his couple of 3-pointers here and there. He play this here. You hoping he keep a positive impact until Randle get back. You know what I mean? That's all you want to play. That's all we looking for in New York right now. Somebody to have a positive impact while Randle getting his breathing room, while Randle's getting his breath. But if this cat coming there and back up Randle with 6, 7 points and 3 rebounds a game and playing good defense and hustling, then that's a win because that's all we really need in that spot. Like I said, Obi can go out there and drop 30, but man, like I said, sometimes he his cats was beating him after he was getting dogged all the time, and it was a problem. But so I think the Knicks will find out what they look for, man. You can't evaluate a guy in Summer League in 1 or 2 games. Some guys rusty. Some guy, like I said, he hadn't been playing basketball for a while because he was injured. But look at what he could do, though. I looked at the things that he could do. The cat can shoot the ball. He's not afraid to score in the paint. He puts an effort on the floor to rebound the glass. He tried to get to the glass and rebound. And he make an effort to play defense. His effort was important to me, and I like that about him, man. So I'm hoping that this cat keep getting his rhythm back, keep learning what he got to go through to get into training camp. And if he can get in a rhythm by training camp, you never know what this cat could do. You know what I mean? But I do like his size, though. I like his size. I like what he tried to do out there, man. And like I said, everybody out there trying to get there because they trying to prove themselves. So obviously, there's not going to be too much team-oriented basketball going on because everybody trying to get into a certain position. A lot of them guys, they ain't going to see the NBA. They're going to see the G League, and that's it. A lot of these cats might be training camp invites. Really, what the Knicks are doing, probably all these guys you see playing Summer League, I guarantee you 3/4 of it would be a training camp invite, and they'd be there to help the training camp. For we have bodies in there to help the guys get ready for training camp. That's all them cats gonna be. So Isaiah Roby, because he got a chance, because he's filling a position that we need, and if he can just give it to us for that little non-guaranteed he got, whatever, then you never know. Let's see, Shop Out, but I'm happy with either way it goes. But I want to see him throughout Summer League. I just want to see what he learned every day and see if he's getting better every day. You know, yesterday he didn't have a good game. Today he had a better game. Let's see if the next game he had a way better game. Right. If he keep elevating and he keep getting better every game, that's what you want to see. You want to see maturation, not disintegrate. He want to disintegrate. You want to maturate. So if Isaiah Roby keep getting better a little bit every day, and he go into training camp, learning more, getting back into a rhythm, you don't know what this cat can turn word up, but he got quality that Obi got. Obi got quality that he don't got, and he's a young dude. So I'm good with it, man. I really do believe that he'll pan out, whether with the G League or we cut him. But right now, I don't got a problem with him. I like what I seen today.
Yeah, I mean, the real big thing is what we all talking about Roby playing too. One of the big things that I'm hoping for that with Roby on the team, maybe we can extend the rotation to a 10-man rotation. I mean, that is one of the big things. We've seen last year that Tom Thibodeau really stuck with a 9-man rotation after starting with 11-man and went to 10-man and really cut it down to the 9-man rotation because of the players that he had last year. And so he made the 9-man rotation for the team that he had on there, the 9 best players on the team. Hopefully, at times, we could probably see Roby step in here and help fill in and maybe give Julius Randle a little bit more rest instead of letting Julius rock the whole first quarter. Maybe we could get Julius out 8 minutes and let Roby come in and get 4 minutes to the second half or 6 minutes so Julius could come back and play 10, 8 minutes in the second quarter and stuff like that, or however they work the rotation out. But maybe, maybe Tom Thibodeau opens up this rotation and we can see closer to a 10-man rotation this year. You know what I mean? It sucked that last year that we could have probably ran a 10-man rotation, but McBride wasn't the man for the 10-man rotation like you talk about a lot, Divine. Defensive wise, the guy's great. He can pass the basketball, but he cannot penetrate. He cannot drive into the hole and make that basket. And he can shoot a good jump shot. He has a pretty decent jump shot from what I see. So we'll see what happens. I still think that there may be a trade in the works because we may, there's a chance that that we'll see by if not before this season start, most definitely by trade deadline, we may if the team is still functioning but still needs a play or something like that, maybe some of these teams that we talked to earlier, if we don't make a trade in August, we may come rehash the some of those trade things that's going on. You know what I mean? Like I said, the big thing for me right now is to see what RJ brings this year, what Grimes bring this year, because if those two guys are not playing well towards the trade deadline, you may see a trade. If LA Clippers is not doing as well as they were doing last year and look like they're playing under a 500 basketball team, we may can touch base with them again at the trading deadline and maybe can talk to Paul George about coming down off of that extension. Instead of it being a $200 million extension, maybe we could get him down to 25 a year for 4 years, 100. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. Or maybe if the Raptors is not looking that good towards the trade deadline and they're playing under 500 basketball, maybe there's a chance that we can go over there and talk about OG again. Or Chicago, if Levine and them is still looking mediocre because they don't have the ball brother over there playing basketball for them. So there's still a lot of things that we got, that's in the works. And like I said again, it's still only July, and it's early July. It's only the 9th. I mean, last year we didn't make one of our biggest acquisitions in Jalen Brunson, if I'm not mistaken, until August, middle of August. So it was before I got married. So, let's see what happens, man. There's still a lot of time to wheel and deal, get some things. And I like the way, from what I've been hearing and seeing, from Twitter and all these other places, that Tom Thibodeau got a format of what he wants to give out for these certain amount of players. And right now, it's seeming like no one wants to Tom Thibodeau doesn't want to bite on what they're offering, and they don't want to go with what Tom Thibodeau is offering. Let the time settle a little bit. Let them go down a little bit. Let them start thinking about it. And once this trade of Damian Lillard happens, and once this trade of Harden get traded, then we'll see where we at. Because if Harden goes to LA, then I don't know if Paul George is going to stay there. Maybe, maybe not. If Dame Dollar comes to Miami or to Brooklyn, you know what I mean, there may be another trade to be made or something like that. So there's a lot of things that we have to just wait and see right now. You know what I mean? I know we all want to jump out the window and I want Embiid. I want Giannis. I want us to make the trade for. But this front office has been one of the smartest front offices since I've been watching Knicks basketball in the longest times. I mean, I haven't seen, they don't make real major moves, and the moves that they make, they seem like they're always overpaying. And then till you get to the end of the year and be like, damn, man, we on a bonus contract, i.e. Brunson. So let's see what happens, man. I think this front office have been willing and dealing, trying to touch base with people, but they ain't gonna get fleeced. So, and we got a big option. For me, and I'm not saying that this team can't make it to the Eastern Conference Final, but for me, the big moves that will be made is 24-25 season. And if we make it if we continue to have a continuing the upwards spiral and stay being a good team, and I mean, good things will happen.
Yeah, you know what, y'all, Pop, real quick. I want everybody in the chat to know this is not about Obi Toppin and Isaiah Roby. Nobody's saying that Isaiah Roby is better than Obi Toppin. We're not even going out like that. What we're trying to say, the situation that's involved with the whole thing is the reason why, as of right now, if the Knicks win in the training camp today, if they win in the training camp today, who's going to be their power forward other than the guy they got on the roster? Or it's going to be what could Jericho Sims and Isaiah Roby them eat up a little bit of minutes to help Randall. That's what it all comes down to. You know what I mean? But for us, like with the piggyback of what you said, listen, the Knicks are in a good spot. They all they do is wait for the iron to get hot. They strike. But it takes two to tangle, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it takes two to tangle. Unless you're going to dance by yourself. If you're going to dance by yourself, then obviously you ain't going to get nothing but yourself. The Knicks got it. I don't care if the Knicks want any player in the NBA. Does the team that they negotiating with want to give them up? You can want a Rolls Royce or Bentley or Maybach or whatever. You can't if you ain't got the money to buy it. Then what difference does it make? Well, that's the same situation the Knicks is in. What they try to do? They can offer this for Anunoby. They can offer this for Paul George. If the other team don't want to do business with them, what they gonna do? What are you gonna do? It ain't about you failed or they not. No, I respect Leon Rose for not getting fleeced with all these players. I'm not giving you Quentin Grimes and this and these unprotected picks. Aniston for Paul George, and I like Paul George, but I'm not messing up my future or my infrastructure for you for 2 years. You don't do that. We're not giving you these many unprotected picks for Donovan Mitchell and all this for what? Nah, you don't do that. You don't do that because that's like, okay, I bought this. Let's say I bought a house, and I bought 4 houses, but this guy got 1 house. He was willing to trade with me, but he want all 4 of mine. And all four of my houses you want me to give you equal to way better than what you giving me. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. So
yeah, man. Yeah.
Keep it real, man. Let's keep it real with the Knicks. They are in a good spot. They're doing the right thing. They being patient, and that's how you build this thing. You build it with patience, and they've been doing it. They started for scrap in 2018. Scott Perry tore it down. Listen, I'm gonna tear it down after the Melo situation. I'm gonna draft all these young players as much as I can. He brought him in, and look what he got now. He took them 4 or 5 years, but look at the product they got out there now because they tore it down and took their time and built it up. They, you know what I mean? I respect them for that because normally, Shot Power, you know how we all know us Knicks fans forget building through the draft. We just gonna trade for this guy. We gonna get his cap money. You know what I mean? Or we gonna get his cap money, but you didn't have the infrastructure around that player that you went and got. They never put a superstar around Carmelo Anthony. Think about that. They did not put another star around Carmelo Anthony. And the same thing what Julius Randle got here. But look what happened when they put a better player around Julius Randle. The Knicks got better. So now they got to put a star around Jalen Brunson. When you put that star around Jalen Brunson, he gonna be like any other two dynamic duels in the league. You know what I mean? Get him another player who can get busy, and then you watch that's what the Knicks waiting for. The Knicks said, we're gonna be patient. One of these fools gonna win out. Not fools, but one of these players gonna win out. Or they know they got that 18, 19 million with Fournier there. They got Harkenstein money that expires next year. That's another 8, 9 million. So they in a good spot. You know what I mean? And they not signing people to long-term deals like crazy big money anyway. I don't know, Frank Montos. It could be anyone. But I'm good with Anunoby too. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, if you look at the team that's winning championships in the NBA for the last 20, 30, 40 years, go on, I don't care how far you go back. Everybody won with superstars. This is a talent-driven league.
Facts.
Who won last year?
Facts. It don't make a difference how every team in the last 20 years has had a superstar. Maybe only team that might be the exception to the rule is that Detroit team back when it was
Richard and
all of them. Yeah. That might be the only exception. But even past then into the 90s, every team had a superstar. Every team. I can't remember one team that doesn't. I think the only one that comes to mind, like I said, is that team with Richard Hamilton and them guys. I mean, that one. That's the only team I could think of.
Yeah, man, and I think that's why it's important, man, for us saying and not. But them also them superstars came from being young players and worked on their game and got better and better. And I think that's why we got to get it next time. Much as people want to throw it out at RJ, RJ 23 years old. He already dropped a 20 a game in the NBA. So what? He just got to work on a couple of things in his game, which he do every year. And pretty soon he might wind up being that star. RJ, you know what I mean? We got cats like Julius Randle. I guarantee you, Julius Randle would have hurt that ankle last year, going into the playoffs, and hurt that ankle in the playoffs. We'll all be singing a different tune about him.
Facts.
All of us be singing a different tune. If Julius Randle wouldn't have got hurt last year at the end of the season and in the playoff on the same ankle, we'll all be praising Julius Randle right now. And that's all they needed. Shit happened at the wrong time. He just got injured. Bro, he could have. I'd rather for Julius Randle got injured earlier in the year. Julius Randle got injured at the end of the season, going into the playoffs when we needed him the most. So and we got a lot of young, good talent on our team, man. They growing, and I think they're gonna be better. I'm confident with this team. I was confident last year. I said 45 wins out the door. I like 45 wins out the door, no question. They won 47 because they had a good team. You know what I mean? So but the order to win in this league, ladies and gentlemen, you got to have that cat who can. When prime example, the New York Knicks last year, if we would have had another guy to help Jalen Brunson, like no matter on my bad day, I'm giving you 25 or 30. Even if I got a bad game, I'm giving you 25. And my percentage might have been bad, but I could put you on my back. And we missed that with Jalen Brunson last year. RJ tried to help us out. Julius Randle didn't have it going because of injury. We just needed another dude who could say, you know what? Let me give Jalen Brunson some help tonight.
That's all we needed.
All you needed. Another dude. So when you see LeBron and Wade, when you see AD and them, you see Giannis and Middleton, you see Harden, these guys. Granted, they didn't go far, but they, on any given night, Joel Embiid or James Harden could have beat you. On any given night. The Knicks don't have that. Jalen Brunson could beat you on any given night. That's the only one. But see, these guys got teams on any given night. One of these cats could beat you, and we just needed one more dude, man, or a player who fits that caliber of grittiness. Who, when I'm in the playoff, I ain't shrinking, and it happens. So but I think we good though. I like Anunoby for the Knicks, Chop Howell. I think that make us at that him on the Knicks it make us see because we got so now you take the pressure off of Randle. Because you got a guy who can lessen the load. And shit, he take the pressure off of RJ too if you don't send RJ on the deal. But if you send RJ on the deal, then Anunoby takes the pressure off of Quentin Grimes. You know what I'm saying? So you got another guy who can come in there and fit the caliber to help the Knicks win. I think we do got to I like that, man. I'm with that all day, every day with that OG thing. I think he got the type of game that'll help the Knicks. He played both sides of the ball, both sides. So
and that would more than likely push Grimes into the second unit. That's looking off of what you're talking about. I mean, me and Divine was talking about this in the background. You know what I mean? We talked about that same trade, not with the second round. I mean, not with the first round picks, but just Fournier and IQ.
Yes.
You know, and that would for me, that means I may think about putting RJ at the 2, even though that is the shooting guard position. RJ is not really a shooting guard, but I might put RJ at the 2 and put OG at the 3 and put Grimes in the second unit. But it's a if coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know what I mean? I'm good with that trade just because it's getting off of Fournier's contract and it gives us money. But more than likely, the trade for OG would probably be RJ and maybe Deuce McBride or two those two same protected picks that you talked about. Even though we don't need to give it up because RJ makes more money than OG, but if you want to sweeten the deal, I thought even before they picked up Schroeder for Toronto, I thought a good trade would be IQ and RJ, or IQ and Evan Fournier to go over there. But the first trade was IQ and RJ to go to Toronto. Toronto gets a shooting guard because Van Fleet was leaving, and they get RJ that could be their star player over there in that division. And Toronto, and he could have took over that quote unquote star position for them over there, big man position or whatever you want to call it.
And let me ask y'all a question, and I'm glad we on this topic with the Anunoby thing, because it's important that we make sure we cross T's, dot R's with all the grables. Here go to me. Here go RJ Barrett. I'm gonna put up his stats, and I'm gonna put in Anunoby stats, because I think people keep saying trade RJ for Anunoby. That ain't making the Knicks a better team. You right. Kind of where we at. You're gonna be just where we at. You trade Anunoby for RJ. To me, you're not making the Knicks a much better team.
No,
you're not making them. It ain't like the Knicks gonna win 10 more games because you traded RJ for Anunoby. I disagree with that 100%. I don't care what nobody say. You might be a little bit better defensively. RJ scoring 20 a game, 19 a game. You know what I mean? But Anunoby, losing RJ and bringing in Anunoby is not making the Knicks better than the Knicks are with RJ there. I disagree with that, because we have put up the numbers. Right now, if you look at RJ numbers, let's go over it. And that's why it's important, because I know the other day, with last show we had, I know it's about the name on the front, but still it's the player. If we still talking about the player. Right now, RJ career, 18 a game, 5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 12.8 PER. So that was numbers. And he's been in the league, 4 years? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go, RJ numbers. Been to the playoffs twice, may I add. Been to the playoffs twice in his sophomore year, and he went this year. So he's been in the league 4 years. He went to the playoffs twice already. And them RJ numbers, you know what I mean? So, and then now I'll go to Anunoby numbers in a minute. Let me go put Anunoby numbers up for you guys, and then we'll get back at it. But that's what I want to see. So you see RJ numbers, 19.52. He had a 12.9 PER. Now let's do Anunoby's numbers right quick. OG right there. His stats. Now bring them back for you guys. Here go Anunoby numbers. 16 points, 5 rebounds, same as RJ.
Mm-hmm.
2 assists, same as RJ. His PER is 1 point better than RJ in his career, 13.2. 13.2. That's the career numbers. 16, 5, 2, 14.6 PER last year. That was last year. RJ had a 12.9. His season numbers for his career, 11 points a game. That's his career so far. 4 rebounds. His career, RJ 5-something. He 1.5 assists. RJ, this is 2 point something. And he got a 1 point PER better than RJ. His 13.2. RJ 12.9. And I know we've been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. RJ been in the league 4 years. And if you look at his total games played, let's look at him and RJ total games played. He played 25 games last year. 48, 43, 69, 67, and 74. So as he got into the league longer, look, after 2020, he played 43 games, 48 games, and 25 games. R.J. Barrett been playing 70-something games until
he's definitely better on the court.
Yeah, right. So does he make the Knicks that better? Also, that's why I put it up there, because look at his numbers. 3-point percentage. That's where he played first year in the league, 37%. He shot the second year in the league, 32%, 39, 38, 39, 30, 33. The last year he shot 33.6. So he does shoot the ball a little more better than RJ, but his overall numbers, I'm like, okay, does swapping out RJ for him make the Knicks a better team than they are now? And I get what everybody feel about him, but I think that's like shot out. I don't know about that, man, because I that's why I like that Manuel quickly and Fournier. One Fournier contract equals his. Both of them got 2 years left. Well, one of them is expiring for Fournier. So you get rid of Fournier contract with Anunoby. That's why I like Anunoby for that deal, because you getting rid of IQ's contract, no matter what happened with Fournier and Anunoby, because of the money wise, but you don't got to, you saving $80 million by extending quickly if you don't decide to re-sign Anunoby. So if you do re-sign Anunoby, then that quickly's extension become Anunoby's. So it's like a win-win to me. But I don't think trading RJ. Nah, I don't think that makes the Knicks a better team. So, I that's where I'm at with that, man. But who knows? I love to have him here. You can keep RJ and Anunoby. That's a different story. But if you trade IQ and my man for, I'm with it. But head up, I don't know how much does that make Knicks a 5 or 6, 7, 8 win team better with RJ there. I don't know about that.
Yeah, the difference for me with OG being on the team is the minutes with the minutes of ball in hand. RJ is he gets the ball, he handles the ball, if not the top three between him, Randall, and Brunson. And OG would not need the ball as much in his hands. That's probably about the only discrepancy from OG to RJ. So Anunoby is a little bit more of a pick and pop type of player. Killer from the wings, from the left wing and the right wing, from shooting from point land. I think he's around 38 to 40% from both sides, 38 from one side, 40 from one side. So that's where he makes his money at. And he doesn't need the ball in his hand like RJ. RJ gets the ball and he commands. He's a little ISO with the basketball. So that probably would be the only difference that I would see in the game. RJ, only thing we need to see from RJ is a little bit better defense and a little bit more, a step up in this game, and a little bit better at the field goal percentage and the free throw line. Basically, they get about the same amount of rebounds. Just RJ field goal percentage is not as great, but the yin to the yang is RJ's on the court. RJ very rarely gets hurt. He had one injury last year with that finger injury, some fluke injury. I never heard of how you rip the skin off your finger the way he did or whatever, but RJ is usually on the court. And with Anunoby, he hasn't had, I think this was the most games Anunoby played in 4 years. I think he played 67 or 62 games. I'm going to say 67. I think it's going to be 6. I think it was 67 to 62 or 67, I remember. But RJ has been, unadulterated Iron Man-ish. He stays on the court. He plays a lot of games for the last couple of seasons that he's been on the court. So, there's some yings to the yangs to it. There's some, black to the white, right hand, left hand, whatever, mediums you want to put to it. But, I do think OG game, because he's a little older and he's been in the league a little longer, he has developed a more defensive-minded game. If I'm not mistaken, last couple of years he was on a defensive team. I think. Let me not say that. Don't quote me on that. But I think he was on a defensive team. maybe two or 3 years ago or something like that. Another year when he had a lot of games played, but we can hope for all of that from RJ Barrett this year. You know, a better defensive type of guy. I mean, getting in the lanes, moving his hips and his feet a little better. I mean, if we could get that from RJ, we'll have the same player in OG with less mileage on his tires, and a guy that's been with the team, you know, since he's been in the league.
Yeah. You know, for me, you got to look at the team he's been at. This cat been on a team with Siakam, Van Vliet, all these cats. You know what I mean? He's been on some good teams. I mean,
Yes.
He's got some talent around him, man. You know what I mean? RJ got pretty much in his second year in the league. RJ was the second best player on the Knicks. It is sophomore season.
That's fact.
Best player on the New York Knicks in the second season, and they got to the playoffs. 2 years later, the third best player on his team.
Facts.
They get to the second round of the playoffs. I don't care if RJ Barrett be the fourth best player on the team next year. The Knicks get into the finals. They got 3 cats in there this year who all could score 20. RJ had 19 points a game. I get all that. A lot of players, but he still scored his points. Now you got a guy who, when he's 23 years old, been in his fourth year and already in 4 years in the league, then accomplished with a lot of cats ain't accomplished since he's been here.
Exactly.
2 playoffs. Like I said, it ain't about all the talent all the time. It's about the other things. The cat is a winning ball player. He ain't scared of the bright lights. A lot of cats got game, but what happened when you come to MSG though? Can you play in New York City? Can you play in the bright lights of Madison Square Garden? I don't care what play. You can do that for one night because you want to come there and you on Broadway that one night. You come in and get a Knicks to business. But on RJ Barrett and Julius Randle been here 4 years or whatever, and they've been handling this shit we be throwing at them all year long. Think about it. Not a lot of players could do that. Kevin Durant couldn't even do it. They couldn't even handle this pressure that comes to New York. That's why I respect RJ, because you know what? He take it for what it is. My mom, my dad, my mom played at Brand at St. John's. My dad did this. I know what it's like to be in the spotlight. And I respect RJ for that because these cats want to be in New York. A lot of these cats don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke. They know
Can't handle the fire.
Can't handle the fire. They know Knicks Real Talkers out there. They know all these other platforms out there. They know ESPN is out there. This cat came in here and handled it, man. He handled it. You know, I mean, like I said, 14 in the first year, 17, 20, and 19. 4 years in the NBA. Every year this cat got better. And I still think the best is yet to come at 23 years old. So I think time RJ get Julius Randle age, imagine the numbers he be putting about in. Think about it. He's 23. Time with his work ethic, time RJ get 27 years old, RJ will be dropping 25, 27 a game easy. Because he being a master of the NBA even more. So I get the Anunoby thing. I'm with it, but I just don't see no RJ for Anunoby. I can see that to me, you're not really doing nothing to the Knicks. You're not. Yeah, he played better defense, but I just showed you them cats' career stats. Only thing Anunoby do right now better than RJ is shoot the 3-ball better, play defense better. Does Anunoby get downhill like RJ do? He might can shoot better than him. So what happens? What happens when your 3-point shot not balling that night? RJ, one thing about RJ Barrett, when his 3-point game ain't on, at least he get down in that bucket. He'll go down there and go downhill, try to get the and-1. He'll bring his game in, and that's what propelled him in the playoff shot power. RJ stopped with 3-point shots. Say, well, my 3-point shot's not shooting, I'm going to go downhill. He started going down there on Cleveland. He went down there on Bam Adebayo them, and look what it got to the Knicks. So that's my trepidation. I want to see this. I don't watch Anunoby like everybody else might do because I'm a Knicks guy. I don't watch a lot of Toronto games. But the number that I just put up between him and Anunoby, I rather do. And I like I said, man, it's just tough. I think the Knicks should roll with what they got, man, and bring in somebody to play the power forward spot to back up Julius Randle for a couple of minutes and see what happens next year with Giannis and all these other guys that are being free agents.
That's what I'm talking about, Divine.
Yeah, you roll. You got to take this shit step by step. You ain't got to go out there and mess this thing up. Wait till the end of the season or wait till the trading deadline and say, you know what? We got the cat money now. We got cat money and we good. And you see where you go this year. And if you get Anunoby, that's fine too. But I think the Knicks just need to go ahead and just you can't just jump to a championship. Put it like that. It's different steps to it. You know what I mean? They took a step in the 2020-21. Shaw Powell, when they got to the first round, they lost to Atlanta. Then they took another step this year when they got to the second round, lost to Miami. Then they take another step next year. Hopefully, they get to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose that. They might win it. But now, what their goal should be is say, we're going to go to 2024 with enough time to put somebody around Jalen Brunson to help the Knicks win a ring. And I think that's what they're going for. That's why we didn't draft nobody. That's why we didn't draft Jalen Doran last year. We let a lot of that go because we on to something right now. And right now with Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, and Jalen Brunson timeline with Mitchell Robinson and them, they trying to get this shit done now. So I do think they're going to say, listen, we're going to roll this thing this year, then we'll take it from there. But we're going to get out of here pretty soon, man. We all got to grind in the morning and everything like that. But great show, Shaw Powell. But I'm looking forward to this season. I'm looking forward to the next Summer League game. I'm hoping that I want to see Jalen Martin keep getting better. I want to see Roby keep getting better. I like the guy from Ukraine, the center. He got a nice inside game. So it's things like that makes me wonder, what happens with guys like this here when they get a chance to come up to the big league. So what happened to the Jericho Simmons of the world? What happened to the McBrides of the world? Because right now you got a guy like Jalen Martin who's giving you something. I know it's Summer League. I'm just saying, but his skill set. He giving you something that my man Deuce and Bride not giving you right now. You know what I mean? In the sense of getting down the hole, pretty good around the basket and things like that. So we'll see. But we'll see how it goes, man. But listen, man, we're going to get out. Shaw Powell, holler at me, my brother. We see y'all cats on Wednesday, man, at the next Summer League game or whatever. And we take it from there.
Salute to you, Divine, as always. Salute to the chat. That is where it's at. You great minds in that chat, man. Y'all keep me looking up. Y'all keep me looking up and reading your chats all the time, man. And I say this as a Knicks fan. We may not be we're all on the same page. We just reading different paragraphs. That's all it is. You know what I mean? We're all on the same page because everybody. What I see in this chat tonight is the Knicks getting better. We may be on a different paragraph on that same page, but we all on the same page. You know what I mean? We want the team to get better. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that this team will be better next year. And we just have to, be hopeful. You know what I mean? I'm saying hopeful for using as a medium because I already think RJ is going to get better this year. After what happened last year, I think Grimes is going to get better this year from after last year. I think IQ is going to get better from what happened after last year. These guys are young and they got chips on their chest. And they seen how close they were to a chip, or at least into the Eastern Conference Finals to hang a banner in the Madison Square Garden. So I think they are going to strive together. And this team has been playing together for now. It'll be 4 years. So I'm just optimistic to see what they're going to do. But once again, salute to you, Divine, as always, and salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yo, did you get that new commercial promo I sent you?
You sent me.
Yeah, it's in your Gmail. It's a commercial.
Oh, I gotta check. I swear I didn't see it. I didn't even look. I'll look it up as soon as I get off.
Hey, I agree with you guys real quick. Frank Montos, I agree with you 100% on the defense side of the floor. No question about that. And I think that's what Anunoby got the edge over R.J. Barrett is the defense side of the ball. You know what I mean? I'm not questioning that whatsoever because I think that's 100% right in his act. But so I wouldn't question that. But I just think that when you compare both of them together, I just don't think trading him for RJ going to make the Knicks all of a sudden a contender. I don't think so. I just don't. But that could be. I could be wrong. Like I said, but I look at their numbers. I like what Anunoby bring. I want Anunoby here. I don't know if we need to trade him for RJ. I think you would want to keep RJ and bring him here and make us a stronger team. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to go with it. Not saying he's better than RJ. RJ better than him. But from a team perspective, I'd rather have Anunoby here with RJ than Anunoby here without RJ. That's where I'm going with it. Because I think you bring Anunoby here with RJ, Randall, Brunson, Grimes, Divincenzo, man, that's a strong team, bro. You know what I mean? So, but if you bring him here without RJ, I think the team would be better, maybe, but I don't think they'd be stronger. You lose a Fournier and quickly, and you losing quickly too. So quickly number was just as good as Anunoby's number this year. Quickly put up the same number Anunoby put up this year. and he played good defense, and he played both sides of the ball, and he facilitate. He can shoot the 3-ball well, so it's a tough one, man. But we complain about size, and I would love to see RJ here with Anunoby, but who knows? But yo, man, listen, everybody, great show as always. You cats is always in here making it happen up in the chat, man. Real talk. I just hope that no matter what the Knicks do, it's going to make us better next year. We got to get to that next step. So that next step for us is the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals. That's the maturation we're trying to go in. That's the direction we're trying to go in. And I heard that, man, Kevin Milton, real quick. He can't stay on the floor. He 100% because he can't stay on the floor. And he was right about that. And I heard in the first Summer League game, Kevin, I heard him talk about that. You can't stay on the floor. You know what I mean? 59 games is tough. It really is. But it's all good, brother. I think Mitchell Robinson, hopefully he can stay healthy this year. And that made a bigger difference. Think about it. Mitch would have missed all the games, Shot Power. We could have won 50-something games. See, the availability is the part that's killing us. If Mitchell Robinson would have played 70 games instead of 59, we could have won 4 of them games with his defense or whatever the case may be. So, you know, we got a good thing going on in New York. Mitchell Robinson need to bounce back and get it popping. But still, salute to everybody. Shot Power, my man. I see you Wednesday. I'll talk to you in between. You already know.
You're already.
Yeah, Knicks Summer League went down today, but we did to fight another game later on in the week, man. Let's see if we can go out there and win that one. But still, I like a lot of things I've seen with Summer League today. Some of the little things I didn't like, but I did like some of the how would I say, the maturation compared to the first game of the season. Some of the guys played a much better game, and I'm happy about that. So salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Knicks Real Talk, Divine, episode 7. We out of here, man. This all season. We see y'all Wednesday, man. Peace.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Time for Divine Shot, KJ events. This Real Talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena. With the clip, that's the conglomerate. Knicks Real Talk, we real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, you straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. The entourage, be on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in tempo. As they cook my game plan, let my brand for loop and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We drink the logo when there's space that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's 50 Dexys on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine on Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks Real Talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks Real Talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.